Welcome, everyone. I'm live here on Facebook with my dear friend and business mentor, Calodagh McCumiskey. Calodagh is a wellness expert. She works in corporate wellness. She is a business and executive mentor and coach. And she also teaches meditation. And she's been a dear friend and mentor of mine for many years now. And thank you for joining us, Calodagh.
It's an honor to be here. Great to be here having a chat with you, Aideen.
So today I've invited Calodagh because we're going to enjoy one of your presentations this weekend at the Get Unstuck in Business Using Your Voice Summit, which is happening, if you don't already know, this Saturday and Sunday on the 14th and 15th of May 2022. And the whole premise behind the summit is that our voices are a tool or an access point to greater empowerment, to greater healing, to greater transformation, but that it can actually be specifically used in a professional capacity in order to improve our professional success, abundance within our small businesses, confidence dealing with people in our workplace. So, Calodagh, do you really believe it's possible to get unstuck in business using your voice?
I absolutely do believe it's possible to get unstuck in business using your voice and to get unstuck in life in general. And I believe that because I've had that experience myself. A number of years back, I came upon a type of meditation, a mantra type of meditation. And on the weekend, I'll be speaking. The title of the talk that I'm giving is From Sound to Silence to Success. And I suppose it's through sound, it's through the power of the mantra meditation that I found my inner silence. Yeah. And when you access that place of inner stillness and inner silence, you access your inner treasure, you access your intuition, and you access that place of you, that you get to the heart of yourself, the heart of your own being. And then when you get to that place, then you know what you really want to do. It's much easier to access what your purpose is in different situations. And that creates a winning situation for yourself in your work, in your personal life, and in whatever you're actually doing.
Most of the time, I think in business situations, we value logic over intuition. Why do you think accessing intuition is important in business?
I think if you speak to most successful people, they rely a lot on their intuition. Also in the workplace, focus happens when our mind is in what we're actually doing, but engagement happens when our mind and our heart is connected to what we're actually doing. And if we really want to be successful, we need to be fully switched on, fully engaged in our business, with our customers, and in whatever we're doing. Yeah, engagement is what transforms situations. Engagement is what moves people. Engagement is what inspires people. And if we want to inspire people to be engaged with our services or with our products or with whatever we're doing, we need to be doing that too. We need to touch them and move them, and we need to feel fully connected.
So, what would you say is the biggest block then for people to access that part of themselves? Where they are fully engaged and they're in the flow and more focused. What prevents us from finding that place?
It's a big question. I would say that in the world today, a lot of us we're in our heads. Yeah, we're busy wondering what we should be doing, wondering what other people are thinking, or just, thoughts that we thought yesterday, that we thought last week, that aren't actually serving us. And our minds are so busy with yesterday's problems, last week's problems, last month's problems. And that's why I'm such a big fan of meditation, because what it does is it helps you to close the files in your head. Yeah. And it helps you just have a fresh focus with whatever you're doing. Yeah. And, so often people have 20 files open in their head, 20 problems. Yeah. And they're constantly there. So it's hard to have clarity. It's hard to be at your best. I often give the example that if I was cooking dinner, I use the pot from yesterday, how will the food taste? Yeah, without cleaning it. And if I was cooking dinner today and I used the pot from last week, the food would be poisonous. Yeah.
Mm.
But this is what we do with our minds. We bring yesterday's problems, last week's, last month's problems into today. And so it's so important to have that ability to close the files, to connect. Another thing I often say is, uh, when there's chaos outside and there's chaos inside, if I'm disturbed or agitated inside, you're going to go around in circles. But if there's chaos outside, but you're still inside, you can find your best way forward in any situation. So whether that's
Mm.
in business, in life, it's really important to be able to access that inner stillness, yeah, to so that you can identify your true north, you can identify what's the best direction, all things considered. But also, everybody has inner treasure. Everybody has gifts, Aideen. Yeah, everybody knows something. Everybody that other people don't know. Everyone has something special to offer, and it's only when we access that place of stillness, that place of intuition, that place of inner knowing, that we can have the best access to whatever your inner treasure is. Yeah.
Mm. It definitely was the experience that I had when I started meditating, that I started to really know myself a little better. And knowing myself helped me to see what it is I wanted and didn't want, like what I actually would enjoy and what I was just doing because I thought other people would, that is more what other people would think I should do. But I'm interested also in this idea that, it's not just, we're talking about using our voice, and you're talking about using our voice in meditation. A lot of people probably are familiar with meditating silently or other forms of meditation. How is the type of meditation that you do with sound different?
Okay, so I suppose look, first thing maybe to say, and I'm not a singer, I'm not somebody. I'm happy to sing in front of people, but it wouldn't be my natural way of being, right? Because I know a lot of the other speakers in the summit are singers. Some are and some aren't, right? But
Yeah.
what we all have in common is that we use voice to grow ourselves and to grow the people that we work with. I suppose what happens is that when we somehow or other, right? It seems extraordinary. It seems almost miraculous, right? But what happens is all meditation is that it's a focused awareness on something. So I can focus my awareness on a dot on the wall, on my breath, on a sound, etc., etc. And we could focus on listening to a sound. You have gong bats and sound bats, or making that sound, right? And so the main meditation that I practice is a mantra meditation. And somehow or other, through chanting different Sanskrit letters, syllables, sounds, what happens is that your mind gets protected from self-negativity and from negativity outside. All the mantra means is you're protecting your mind from negativity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you what happens is just gradually the stress, the tension, the negative thoughts, they kind of dissolve, they fade away. And as you ease yourself into the practice, you just become more centered. Yeah, you become more centered. And it's an amazing thought. In some ways, it doesn't actually make logical sense. Yeah. And what often happens, I find it with my students all the time, you'd hear them saying, like, I don't know why it works or how it works, but it works. Yeah. And somehow or other, it just seems to have that effect that we chant these different sounds. And if you think of it, I suppose there's singing prayer in so many different spiritual traditions. Yeah. And singing itself as well has such a power. Yeah, that many of the speakers will be speaking about on the weekend. But singing it connects you inside, it connects you to the heart, and then you can unlock that treasure that's inside of you.
Mm.
Somehow or other, it just stills things, it stills everything, it anchors you, it centers you, it stills things, and then you somehow or other you get connected with what's deep inside. And I suppose it's just something that really has to be experienced. It's not something that we can fully understand with the mind, actually.
Mm. So, from what you're saying, when you say from sound to silence to success, do you believe that finding that silence is essential for success? Because there's a lot of people seem to be very busy, 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 busy. Is it about sustainable success or balanced success? What is it the difference that stillness or silence gives you in order to create that success?
I think it's one is that I suppose well-being, any type of well-being brings about sustainable success, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're unhappy in our lives, sometimes people achieve success through burning themselves out or over busyness, right? But definitely, I think two things will happen when we have stillness. One is that we will experience joy. Okay. And the other thing is that we'll be doing something that touches us, and we'll have meaningful, heartfelt felt connections with our clients, with people that we're interacting with, right? And that has a huge value. So sometimes, yes, you might do something well, but what good is that if you're not fully enjoying it? Yeah. Yeah, if it's if or even if it's burning you out, if it's exhausting you, if you're preparing yourself for health problems down the line, yeah, because you're over burning yourself. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that in life, in business, if people want to be successful, they have to work hard, but there's a fine line. Yeah, and I think that stillness helps you really find your way in situations. And when we're able to work out, who do I want to be in this situation? You know, who do I want to be as a friend? Who do I want to be as a partner or as a parent or as a business owner or as a whatever, right? And, you know, so often in life, we disconnect from ourselves. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes we can feel disconnected from ourselves for weeks, months, even years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we access that place of silence, that's that place of self-connection. You know,
Okay.
we connect on three levels. We connect within, we connect with other people, and we connect with source or with the higher power, nature, or it'll be different things for different people. Different people will have, it could be, yeah, it'll feel different. It'll have a different focus for different people, whether it's, you know, higher power. Yeah, we all understand that. So when we when I'm connecting with other people from that place of silence, I'm fully connected to myself. That has a power. Yeah. And also that has the capacity to deliver fulfillment to me. You know what I mean? We want achievement, but we also want fulfillment in life. What's the point of achievement if it's not fulfilling? Yeah.
That's a good point.
And when we have silence within, we identify those things, or we connect with those things that bring genuine fulfillment, that bring joy, that bring lasting happiness, and also that can have the potential to bring lasting success, as long as we're offering what our clients want. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that you work in corporate wellness and you know, well-being programs, and also with executive coaching. Can you maybe share any example that you might have of, you know, responses from people you've worked with about how it's helped them?
Okay, I suppose in life and in business, you know, it's we want to, one of my clients was just saying that it really helped her have the balance of being fully authentic to herself, yeah, whilst achieving high performance. Yeah. So it was something that it enabled her to be who she wanted to be at work, you know, within the professional boundaries, yeah, of how we have to operate with people, but also, so she was fully authentic to herself and able to achieve high performance at the same time. And I think that when we can have that balance of being authentic to ourselves, but also doing what other people need and want, providing a service of what other people need and want. You know, there's a huge power in that. There's a sustainable opportunity business-wise in that. Yeah. And you know, so many people have come to me and they've said that I would often differentiate the difference between relaxation and distraction. Yeah. Many people in my different workshops, they've often realized that they actually don't do anything to relax, that what they do to wind down of an evening is more about distraction, but their mind is always kind of busy. It's trying to fix something, sort out something, solve or escape from something. Yeah. So I suppose one of the benefits of deep, proper relaxation is that people can have deep joy, much better quality of relationships. Recently, I worked with 2 people together, and they were happier and more productive after even just 4 sessions. Yeah.
It's great. It's great. We can't wait to have you join us on yours talk is at 8 p.m. Irish time on Saturday. So we hope that anybody listening, please register. It's free to register to come live to the events. And if you do decide to upgrade to the VIP offer, Claude is offering a gift of attendance at meditation classes for, I think, a full month. Yeah, which is amazing. So you definitely will know if it's working for you at that. Yeah, and also a meditation recording that you can listen to at home.
Yeah, to help people to relax. And some people I know have gotten really, really good benefits. One lady was telling me yesterday that she listens to it every day. And before, she would wake up after maybe 3 hours of sleeping. But more recently, she's been listening to it. It only takes 10, 12 minutes. She's been listening to it every day for a week or 2. And she's sleeping solidly, consistently for up to 6 hours. It's just a yoga nidra. It's a practice, yeah, but it can make a big difference. And
that's amazing. Yeah, we hope that anybody listening will take the plunge and register and join us. Thank you so much for your time today, Claude, and look forward to seeing you again on the weekend.
Just to say, Aideen, that there's an amazing array of speakers with lots of different talents and perspectives. So I'm sure it's not just me. There's so many other speakers out there with lots to share about the voice and yourself. What time is your talk on at, Aideen?
Mine is on the Sunday. I think it's at 2 p.m. Irish time.
Yeah.
Or it could be 3 p.m. But anyway, when you register, all of the details are in there.
Yes.
And so it'll be easy to find. And there's, as you say, we've got 9 speakers in total. One of them is in Brazil, one's in Romania. I've got a guy in Los Angeles, a guy in British Columbia, Canada. So there are a lot of amazing speakers from all over the world. And it's our first time doing it. It's going to be an amazing event with great energy. Everyone's coming from the heart in this event. It's not going to be too formal or stuffy. There's going to be lots of fun happening, a lot of great content. Like, it can be transformative when you find a way to access your voice and you start using your voice differently, whether that's in vocal exercises or mantra, or using your personal musical scale that Molly is going to be talking about. So it's going to be a really great time, and I hope that that some of you watching will join us. We want to see you there.
Excellent. Brilliant, Aideen. Really looking forward to the event. Thanks a million.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.